Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We are at the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio on a Tuesday evening in February.
Just right before a bunch of nasty weather's coming our way, it looks like, what I've seen.
We're taping this on the 23rd of February, and the 24th is not supposed to be a pretty day.
No.
Who knows what's going to happen? I don't think we're going to get that much.
I hope not.
Lafayette and them are going to get some, but I think we're going to get a lot of rain. The roads may get slick, but I don't think we're going to get a bunch of snow, and that's just fine.
After the past weekend with 70 degrees, it kind of gets us all
72.
In the mood for
I'm out at the track on Saturday, and I'm thinking, why in the world isn't there race cars out here today?
We kept saying we was going to hopefully try to get something in February. One time soon we might. That would have been a perfect day
Well, we got an extra day this month, and it's supposed to be 50 on Sunday, so
never know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Going to start the show out on a sad note tonight.
Yes.
A very sad note. One of our favorite listeners, and the lady just adored us, and we did her, and a lot of our listeners got to know Aunt Jenny through us over the years. But Aunt Jenny was 96 years old and passed away last Wednesday.
Yeah, she was a month away from being 97.
Yeah. She was your mother's sister.
My mother's sister, yes.
You will not meet a finer lady in the world than her. She just would do anything in the world for you.
That's kind of how my whole mother's side of the family was, and you've heard the stories that Aunt Jenny told about their mother.
Yeah.
And how she took care of like the hobos along the train tracks and stuff. That's how my family is, and she was the last of them right there, and it was a hard day yesterday.
Well, I'm sure her legacy will go on with her with the family, but I mean, just a great lady. But and she told us all, okay, she's ready to go.
Yes.
And I tell you, what she went through the last several years, health-wise and everything. I mean, they wrote her off 3 or 4 years ago, and the lady was zooming around the nursing home in her wheelchair as late as 4 or 5 days before she passed away. So she lived a great long life. She was happy with her life, and now she's in a better place.
She sure is.
And I know you're listening, Aunt Jenny, and always will, and we appreciate.
I know we always said hello, Aunt Jenny, but we'll say until we meet again.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
We will. But we're going to miss her. But
we are.
But she wouldn't want us to sit and mope about it.
No.
She would kick our hind ends.
You're right. You're exactly right.
But I knew everybody out there would want to know. We took a little trip last week, a week ago, Saturday, and snuck down to Daytona to the ARCA race.
Seen a lot of folks that we knew down there.
And, we did in the pits before the race, and then got to see the new $400 million Daytona International Speedway.
Daytona Rising.
Which it's a...
unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. $400 million buys a lot.
Yes, it does.
And they've used it to the max. And I guess I talked to Kevin Katansky today with Kroger, who was down there last week, or this past weekend for the races, and was actually up in the suites, and I guess they're just palatial.
Wow.
They got their own chefs and everything. I mean, it's the escalators, and there's not a bad seat in the house. I mean, you get up in the nosebleed, you need oxygen. But it's quite something to see. If you get down to Daytona, you want to see it. It's as nice as any football stadium that I've been in.
Right.
And all the amenities for the fans. However, their $9 hamburgers and $5 pops was a little bit much for me,
steep,
especially when the hamburger wasn't even edible. But other than that, we're down there for the racing. And actually the racing, I didn't think, and it's just my personal opinion, I didn't think the racing all week, other than maybe the truck race, was that good until the last lap of the Daytona
500,
race.
Yes.
And actually, it's the last half a lap that was good.
But at least the Daytona 500, they didn't tear up a bunch of cars this time. I think there was like 32 or 33 still running at the end out of the 40 that started.
They never did have the big one.
No,
right?
They didn't have the big one. So.
Which is good.
Yes.
But still, it was just... to me, it just wasn't real entertaining.
The truck race was very entertaining. I hated that last lap incident there where I can't remember who got upside down, but
it was Christopher Bell, wasn't it?
Yes. What a ride he
who
took.
Almost won the Winchester 400
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
He went for a flip.
Yes, he did. But thank God he came out of that one okay.
But everybody's okay, and I really, really wanted to see. I don't know why his name keeps slipping me. Second place, Truex, Martin
Truex.
I really wanted to see him win that race. Not a big Denny Hamlin fan, but
Joe Gibbs won.
Yeah, I'm really, as you know, from last year, not a Matt Kenseth fan, so that didn't bother me to see him drift back to 20th in less than a quarter of a lap. But it was a great finish to the end, and they could have. And Martin said he could have pushed him up a little higher, but who knows what would have happened. He might not have finished the race.
That's
either.
Right.
So
That's right.
It was a good finish. NASCAR's got they've added some squirrely new rules, that the new truck rule, 20 minutes and then yellow.
I don't get all that.
It don't make sense to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Not be critical until we see it in action, I suppose.
In the ARCA race, we did see a gentleman that we've seen race before, John West Hanley, win the ARCA race with Zaxby's car. So it was good to see him in the winner's circle again.
Yeah, and I think he was in the Xfinity race too, and didn't fare so well.
Yeah,
and neither did Eric Jones. He had some trouble early and ended up 2 or 3 laps down at the end.
No, we did see Chase win the Xfinity.
We did.
He didn't have a very good Daytona race, but at least he did get a win out of the weekend.
He didn't, but now he can take his rookie stripe off when he goes back. Chase Elliott's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just take it. And Eric Jones is also in the Xfinity Series. The Gibbs teams are just strong.
They are.
And they're going to start putting the herd on the Hendricks teams. So, but on the line with us, we got a special guest, and we get to talk to him 2 or 3 times on the air throughout the season. One of the most important people at Anderson Speedway is our track chaplain, Larry Avery. Larry, how are things where you're at?
Hey, they're nice right now. It's blue sky. The snow apocalypse or whatever won't be in until later tonight and tomorrow. I'm here in Michigan.
Oh, that's right. You're going to get it pretty good, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I get to head home tomorrow, though. This is a short week out on the road for me, so I'm happy.
Good.
That's good. We're actually going to be in Coldwater this Saturday for the must-see racing banquet, so I hope they don't get a bunch.
Well, they might. You never know that part of the state. I'll be in Adrian tomorrow and then head home, so that's in that same area. But it's just great. I just can't wait to get back out at the track, though. Yeah, Gary, and I just think it's going to be fun.
I'm anxious to get back out to the track with all my crew and friends back around me, too. It's been kind of lonely out there this winter.
I understand.
For maybe some of our first-time listeners or folks that aren't real familiar with the Speedway, tell us a little about On Track Ministries and what your part is in that program.
Okay. On Track Ministries was started probably about 15, 16 years ago by David Martin up in Fort Wayne, just as an opportunity to be at the track and just meet any needs that the drivers or families have, and crew, your crew as well as the racers' crews, and everybody wants somebody there to celebrate with them when they have a victory, and that's great. But we're there also just to meet a need if there's something that goes wrong, and whether it's to commiserate with somebody when a tire falls off at the exact wrong time, or if we need to be at the hospital to be with somebody while the doctors are taking care of things. Some of that we never want to have happen, but if it does, we're there. And so we just want to meet their needs, whether it's at the track, off the track, in season or out of season. And so that's what gets exciting for us, is just to be able to be there and just share, because it's because of our faith in God, and we just like to share that. We don't force it on anybody, but we're just there if they have a need. In fact, I've made several hospital visits this summer, or not this summer, but this winter.
Well, other than you and David Martin, are there other folks that are involved with the program?
With On Track Ministries, it's basically David Martin and I. Now, there are people doing what we're doing at tracks across the country. I mean, we have friends in Texas and Florida and Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, that are doing exactly what we're doing, but under different names. So it's broader than this, but for us, it's just right here locally with you most of the time, and then out with CRA some as well.
Well, you're a crucial part of our program.
So we kind of adopted him through CRA, and Larry's just become a part of our family. So he is definitely Anderson Speedway stock now.
It's a privilege to be there, Rick and Gary, and it really is important to us as well. And you have been so gracious to us, and we really appreciate that. And so it like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to be there.
I can't say that we've always been as gracious back to him, because we've had him out there pushing broom and putting oil dry down and pushing water when we've had a rain night.
Well, when you see a need, my dad always told me, if you see something that needs to be done, do it. And although I'm almost a year older now, Gary, you're going to have to take it a little bit easier on me.
Make it easier. Now, we did back at the end of the season there, Larry. We let you, I guess, the last race with the Turkey Bash when you were up in the tower with Jim Mojette and doing some announcing.
I was. That was unique. And I got to tell you, I got a whole different perspective on anybody that's up in the tower doing that. That's a tough job, trying to keep track of everything. And then we were telling people that a driver had won. Well, his car won, but it was a different driver.
Well, I know you've been there. You've been there for me personally, not only with some things that have happened at the racetrack, but some, I've have a bad day, or something's going on, and you're always there, and there's no way you can say how much that means to you to have somebody like you there. And I hope you know that's a reciprocal, because we're there for you also. But getting a little bit more about the ministry, I know you've spent a lot of time at other tracks too. I think Talladega, and you had a big presence down IMS. What are you looking forward to in 2016?
Well, the National Raceway Ministries, they do fan outreach at all of the NASCAR tracks and any NASCAR track that has Indy cars there as well. And right now for IMS, some of the plans are a little bit up in the air. In fact, I'm going to be meeting with David this next weekend, where we're going to finalize some things going on there. But like at IMS, we're located in one spot. That's out in the Coca-Cola Lot B parking lot. At some of the other tracks, Talladega, for example, we'll have 12 different sites where there's opportunities to have chapel services, Pinewood Derby races. I got to call the Pinewood Derby race on the infield at Talladega last fall. So there's those kinds of things going on at all of the big tracks. Last weekend down at Daytona, we probably had close to 200, maybe even 300 volunteers doing various things, from guest services to chapel services.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And I know we've been talking about a big presence at the Payless Little 500 this year, too.
Well, that's what we, and for me, that's really the emphasis that I want. I mean, there's so many people come in. I take the whole week of vacation that week just so that I'm there at the track the whole time, and we want to have a big presence there to just have a good time with everybody. Don't know exactly what that's going to be. I know David and I want to get together with you and talk more. I think you guys talked some when he was in Florida earlier this year, and so we're looking forward to that. And whatever you let us do, we'll do our best to take care of the fans that are there and do whatever we can, and make it even a bigger deal than anything we've ever done before.
That would be awesome. Well, Larry, we really appreciate you taking the time with us this evening. Have safe travels on your way home and wherever you go, and thanks for being there for us.
Thank you for letting me be on tonight, and we do appreciate both of you guys. We laugh a lot, but we're there for each other, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Larry.
Thank you, yes.
You have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Larry Avery, the track chaplain at Anderson Speedway. You will not meet a finer guy than Larry, and if you need something and he can help, he'll be there.
Don't we always feel when he's there, there's like this calmness around us that we just know the night's going to be good.
Well, yes, but if it's not, we also have that same
yes,
same demeanor to help us get through.
That's right.
Bad times as well as good. He likes to celebrate just as much as the rest of us.
That's right.
And enjoys good racing. So
yes, he
we're
does.
going to step aside, take a quick break. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We'll be right back.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings? Or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
38 special. Got that on 2 notes.
How many notes did you get? How many hints did you get prior to the 2 notes?
What do you think about that? 2 notes, 38 special. That's from your era.
It's yours too.
Was it?
Well,
didn't they just go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Right, with Gary Puckett, right?
And the Union Gap.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no, I just clicked. It took forever to bring this up, and I just clicked out of it.
Way to go.
By the way, you're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Gary Mong and Rick Dawson. We're at the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio. 18 days away from our first open practice.
That's right.
March the 12th. That'll be 2 weeks from this Saturday, right?
Yes.
Hopefully the weather will be like it was last Saturday.
Yeah.
I've talked to several people. Sean Cullen was in Sunday, I think, while I was out the track, and he happened to call, came in and got his membership. He actually has 2 cars. Steve Weaver is building a car for him to drive, and Sean's also got his own. So
Figure 8 cars. That division is looking like it's going to be good this year.
And he's going to be out there practicing, he said. So Jeff Chu told us that, his phone's been burning his ear with calls from the competitors, so that's all good.
Yes.
So everybody's getting antsy. It's that time of year, March the 12th. You need to come out and get your memberships and get your numbers reserved. That's important. Get that done as soon as you can.
Right.
And if you want a pit pad, you need to get that reserved too, because those will go really fast once we get opened up.
On that particular date, I think if it's like last year, we opened the pits at 12, we'll practice from 1 to 4.
I had the schedule.
Something
it's the
like
same as last year.
Yeah, 1 to 4 then. Yep.
That's it.
That's what we had last year. Yes.
That's what we're going to do this
okay.
year, too.
It'll be the 12th and the 19th. Both will be the same.
And I think the first night of racing, we will start at 6 o'clock
Yes.
on March the
26th,
when we will have our McGonigal engine late models, Markham Welding Pro Compacts, and Thunder Cars
coming back
Yeah.
full time.
I'm ready for that.
I am too.
For all of our late model racers, there was some confusion, but I got that straightened out, or we got that straightened out, I should say, Thursday. The tire is the same tire we were on last year, the plated CRA 970. So, and those are available from Jack Neal over at Motion Motors, so make sure you get over and get that, and Jack's got all the parts you need for those race cars,
Yes.
too, and
He's
race
ready.
fuel.
He's ready.
He's ready to go. We're ready to go. We actually ran into Scott Neal down at New Smyrna
Yes.
Speedway. We stopped in there a week ago Friday night and seen Dalton Armstrong
race. Yes.
Didn't do real great. I think he
got top 5, I think, out of that, but it wasn't.
It was by attrition.
Yes.
It just wasn't a winning caliber performance.
No.
But
car was in one piece at the end of the night,
the
though.
car's good,
Yes.
so I don't know if it's just need to get a little fire under Dalton to get up on that wheel and drive, or what it is. But maybe it's that track, because that track is different, and it's bad fast.
Tough, yeah, tight and fast for a half mile.
So, but it was good to see him down there. And then we ran into him at the flea market in Daytona on Sunday when we were going back across. Stopped and we spent a couple nights with Leon and Barb Murphy.
We did.
And seen my folks down
Yes.
there. And my mom had some medical procedures done last week, and
Doing well.
Everything's going really well
Good.
there. So everything's good.
Good.
Except for you on the airplane coming back.
Oh, my gosh. Tuesday was not a good day for me.
I hope they didn't open that hatch under under the head on the plane.
If you've ever had food poisoning, that's kind of the first time I've really had it to that extent. I'm telling you, you don't want to travel when you have it, because it was
Especially
horrible.
on an airplane.
Oh, I've never felt so miserable in my life. It was bad. It was bad, but I got through it.
Payless Little 500 tickets are still going well, and we're above last year. When I got back last week, we'd already had a call. I had one email, got another email from Australia for 4 folks that are coming across. Had an email from a gentleman in London, England.
Wow.
Got it, and Jessica's off for a week or two here, so I was answering the phone this morning, and a gentleman from New Jersey called who had actually renewed his tickets and was changing the name on and has a lap sponsorship and wanted to change the name on it, and I couldn't hardly get off the phone with him because I thought we were done. He said, by the way, I wanted to tell you that is the greatest race in the world. I tell everybody about it. You have to be there to see it.
Yes.
So
we're pretty proud of it.
All over the country. And I mean, when we were down in Florida, folks were talking about the Payless Little 500.
It just seems
presented
like
by UAW GM.
Seemed like on that night, Rick, there's just like magic comes over that track here, and everybody is on their game. The drivers, the crews, our crew, everything, and it's just like it just all just comes out so well.
Got
and
three more.
show.
Got 3 more entries yesterday. A gentleman, I believe his name was Jim Thompson from Brookville, Florida, entered, and then Gene Nolan sent in 2 entries this year. Of course, going to be short one on Gene's team this year because of the loss of Tony Elliott.
Yes.
But Gene's coming back, and be pretty cool if they could do well this year.
Yes.
I actually talked to Sherry Elliott, who was Tony's sister-in-law this morning. She's Doug Bowles. She's the PR media person down at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, kind of right hand of Doug Bowles, and she's seen the logo for this year's race, and you'll notice we kind of subliminally, but it sticks out. The sprint car that's in our logo has the number 5 on it.
Does it?
And she noticed it right off the bat and was pretty happy about it.
Great.
So I'm actually, it looks like
Tony loved that race.
Yep. Been talking about it all winter, but she's setting up a meeting with me and Doug Bowles next week. Doug's at the Actus meeting, which is the worldwide racing governing body for a few days. So as soon as he gets back, he and I are going to get together. We're talking about the big event for the Ray Haroon Memorial that's going to be permanently at Memorial Park Cemetery out here in Anderson, where Ray is buried.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably a lot of people don't know the first Indy 500 winner is buried in Anderson, Indiana.
It'd be pretty cool if AJ be there, too.
Yes.
And I told them that they should have done it after the race. I might have said this before. The older I get, the more I start repeating myself. But we have Ray Haroon there at the cemetery. You have AJ Foyt, who won the 50th, and whoever wins the 100th race.
There you go.
Also would be pretty neat. But they're going to do it on April the 30th, so we won't know who that winner is.
Well, we could have all possible 33, 40 guys that are going to get into the event and all be there. Just say one of you will be the 100th winner.
Yeah, you didn't get to see the race on Sunday because you were at the viewing for Aunt Jenny, but you seen the other two NASCAR races, and we had alluded to it earlier, and we'll talk a lot about it. What do you think about the racing that you saw?
The finish of Daytona, which is all I got to see was the results that night. I guess it's, if you want to see a spectacular finish, it doesn't get any better than what that finish was Sunday at Daytona. I think that's what the crowd comes to see, is something to that nature right there.
I will think, and I didn't really care for him. I mean, he's a great driver, don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't one of my favorites. Jeff Gordon wasn't one of my favorite drivers. But I thought he did a very good job in the booth. He brought a different perspective, I mean, because he just got out of the car. I think some of these drivers, like Darrell Waltrip, and Kenny Wallace still races the dirt stuff and everything, but hasn't really competitively run in the.
They have raced with these new cars and stuff that's raining out there.
And Jeff was able to give a better perspective, and actually his commentary made it more exciting, and he didn't hear the boogity stuff out of Darrell Waltrip either. I think that cornball stuff probably got nixed by the higher ups.
Didn't he do it at the beginning of the race?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't see the first of the race, but I understand he didn't do it on the other races.
Oh, okay.
He did the Xfinity racing, or maybe he did it on Sunday. I don't know. I didn't see the first.
Okay.
Hopefully not, but it's just, I mean, they tend to wax nostalgic too much instead of talking about the actual race.
Right.
And I think somebody like Jeff Gordon, and actually I don't care for him either as a racer, but the 4-car Kevin Harvick did a good job on the Xfinity race too, I thought. So at least the broadcasting's getting a little better.
A little more up to date, I guess we should say.
So I want to remind everybody again, a couple of things. Drivers and owners, get your memberships and get your car numbers reserved and get your pit pads reserved. We got practice coming up 2 weeks from this Saturday.
Yes.
And then we'll have another one the Saturday after that, and then the Friday before opening night on the 26th. Our practices, the fans are welcome to come out. If you don't buy a pit pass, you're welcome to sit in the pit bleachers. We have used up our 30 minutes.
We are.
So
with
that, we may or may not be preempted next week. Stay tuned to WHBU or watch our website, the sectionals. Not sure what the station's doing yet. We may be on earlier or later or at a different time, but stay tuned for that. For now, I'm Rick Dawson and Gary Mong. We appreciate you spending the evening with us. Have a great week, and we'll see you at the track.
Tune in next Tuesday night for another edition of Anderson Speedway's Track Talk on News Talk 1240 WHBU and the new 103.7 FM, and on Muncie's Sports Station 102.9 FM and 1340 AM. And for more information on Anderson Speedway, go to andersonspeedway.com.